Vaping has exploded in popularity. Over the past decade, we've seen a dramatic shift in how people consume nicotine. What started as a niche market has now become a global phenomenon, with vape shops popping up in every city and town. It's not just a trend, it's a cultural shift. It's seen as a cool, safer alternative to smoking. The sleek designs, the variety of flavors, and the perception of reduced harm have all contributed to its widespread acceptance, especially among younger generations. For many, vaping is more than just a habit, it's a lifestyle. But what if this healthier option is a wolf in sheep's clothing? What if the very thing that promises safety is hiding dangers we haven't fully understood yet? The allure of vaping might be masking some serious health risks that are only now coming to light. New research suggests vaping might be more dangerous than we thought, potentially leading to severe health problems. Studies are beginning to show links between vaping and respiratory issues, cardiovascular problems, and even mental health concerns. The chemicals in vape liquids, once thought to be harmless, are now under intense scrutiny. Hold on to your butts, folks, because things are about to get a little uncomfortable. We're diving deep into the science and the stories behind vaping, and what we find might just change the way you think about this so-called safer alternative. This isn't about being preachy or telling anyone what to do. It's about providing information, sharing the latest research, and encouraging informed decisions. Everyone has the right to know what they're putting into their bodies and the potential risks involved. It's about looking at the facts, even when they're inconvenient, and asking tough questions. How do these chemicals affect our lungs? What are the long-term consequences of inhaling vaporized substances? Are we trading one set of health risks for another? Because when it comes to our health, especially the health of young people, we can't afford to be wrong. The stakes are too high. We owe it to ourselves and future generations to dig deeper, to question more, and to never settle for easy answers when it comes to our well-being. So, let's take a closer look at vaping, beyond the clouds of vapor, and uncover the truths that lie beneath. Researchers at Manchester Metropolitan University dropped a bombshell. Their study revealed that vaping could be more harmful than traditional smoking. They found that e-cigarettes can damage vital cells in our lungs, potentially leading to serious respiratory problems. The study's findings have sent shockwaves through the public health community. It challenges the widely held belief that vaping is a harmless alternative to smoking. The researchers are urging for stricter regulations and increased awareness about the potential dangers of vaping. E-cigarettes are marketed as a cleaner alternative to traditional cigarettes, but don't let the fruity flavors and sleek designs fool you. These devices are packed with a cocktail of chemicals that can wreak havoc on your body. We're talking about heavy metals like lead and nickel, which can damage your brain and other organs. We're talking about volatile organic compounds linked to respiratory problems and even cancer. And let's not forget about diacetyl, a flavoring agent notorious for causing popcorn lung, a severe and irreversible lung disease. So yeah, maybe not so clean after all. This isn't just about lung damage. Scientists are increasingly worried about the impact of vaping on the heart, brain, and other vital organs. Early research suggests that vaping can increase the risk of heart attacks, strokes, and even dementia. Dr. Maxime Boyden, a leading researcher in the field, warns, "We are just beginning to understand the long-term health effects of e-cigarettes. But the early evidence is concerning, to say the least. The potential consequences of widespread vaping are too dire to ignore." Vaping's sneaky tactics, targeting youth with deceptive marketing ploys. The rise of vaping among teenagers and young adults has become a significant public health concern. These products are often marketed as a safer alternative to traditional cigarettes, but the reality is far more complex and troubling. The vaping industry has taken a page from Big Tobacco's playbook, employing slick marketing tactics to hook a new generation on nicotine. Just as Big Tobacco once used glamorous ads and misleading health claims to attract smokers, the vaping industry uses similar strategies to appeal to young people. They create a false sense of security around their products, downplaying the risks and emphasizing the supposed benefits. From celebrity endorsements to colorful packaging and enticing flavors like cotton candy and gummy bear, it's clear who they're after: young people. These flavors are not just appealing. They are designed to mask the harshness of nicotine, making it easier for first-time users to start and continue using these products. The use of social media influencers and celebrities further glamorizes vaping, making it seem like a trendy and harmless activity. This is especially concerning because young people's brains are still developing, making them more susceptible to addiction. The adolescent brain is particularly vulnerable to the effects of nicotine, which can interfere with brain development and lead to long-term cognitive and behavioral issues. Parents and educators are increasingly worried about the impact of vaping on academic performance and overall well-being. The long-term consequences of nicotine addiction on a developing brain can be devastating. Studies have shown that nicotine can alter brain chemistry, leading to increased risk of mood disorders, attention deficits, and impulse control problems. The addiction can also pave the way for the use of other substances, creating a cycle of dependency that is hard to break. It's a cynical and predatory strategy that puts profits before the health of our children. Communities are beginning to fight back, with parents, educators, and health professionals raising awareness about the dangers of vaping. Protests and advocacy efforts are growing, calling for stricter regulations and better education to protect young people from these deceptive marketing ploys. The fight against vaping is not just about individual health, it's about safeguarding the future of an entire generation. Vaping industry pushes back. A safer alternative, they claim. The vaping industry argues that e-cigarettes are a valuable tool for smokers trying to quit. They claim that vaping is significantly less harmful than smoking and can help people reduce or eliminate their cigarette consumption. They point to studies showing that e-cigarettes contain lower levels of some harmful chemicals compared to traditional cigarettes. They also highlight the potential benefits for smokers who have been unable to quit using other methods. The long game unraveling the potential time bomb of vaping's risks. The truth is, we're still in the early stages of understanding the long-term health effects of vaping. E-cigarettes haven't been around long enough to fully grasp their impact on our bodies over decades of use. This uncertainty is precisely what makes vaping so risky. We're essentially conducting a massive public health experiment, with millions of people unknowingly participating. The potential consequences, both known and unknown, are simply too great to ignore. Vaping's uncertain future, a call for caution and continued research. As e-cigarettes have become more popular, questions about their safety and long-term health effects have also increased. While some argue that vaping is a safer alternative to traditional smoking, the reality is that we still don't have enough data to make definitive conclusions. While more research is needed to fully understand the long-term effects of vaping, the early evidence is concerning enough to warrant caution. Studies have shown that vaping can have immediate adverse effects on lung health, and there are indications that it may also affect cardiovascular health. The presence of harmful chemicals in e-cigarette vapor, such as formaldehyde and acrolein, raises significant concerns. We cannot afford to wait decades to discover the full extent of the damage. The history of tobacco use has taught us that waiting too long to act can result in devastating public health consequences. Therefore, it is crucial to take preventive measures now rather than later. Public health officials, policymakers, and individuals must take a proactive approach to mitigate the potential risks. This means implementing policies that restrict the sale and marketing of e-cigarettes, especially to vulnerable populations such as teenagers and young adults. It also means educating the public about the potential risks associated with vaping. This includes stricter regulations on e-cigarette sales and marketing, particularly to young people. The allure of flavored e-cigarettes has been particularly problematic as it attracts younger users who might not otherwise have started using nicotine products. By limiting access and appealing marketing tactics, we can help reduce the number of new users and increased funding for research on the long-term health effects of vaping. More comprehensive studies are needed to understand the full range of health impacts, including potential links to chronic diseases such as cancer and respiratory illnesses. Funding for such research is essential to provide the scientific community with the resources they need to conduct thorough and unbiased studies. Until we know more, a healthy dose of skepticism and caution is warranted. Individuals should be encouraged to consider the potential risk before deciding to use e-cigarettes. Health professionals should continue to advise their patients on the known risks and encourage them to seek safer alternatives for nicotine consumption or cessation. By taking these steps, we can work towards a future where the health impacts of vaping are